Asaba, the Delta State capital, continues to bubble as over 5,000 young athletes continue to fight for honors at the 7th edition of the National Youth Games. And of course, the Ministry of Sports Development says it will continue to ensure the set objectives of the Games, which obviously is to produce future athletes for the country, is achieved. Hello and welcome. This is Sports Rule of the Network Service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Bade Adeleye. As usual, we're at Mansa, the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. And of course, on the road today, we'll be bringing you the latest coming from the National Youth Games in Asaba, Delta State. And of course, we'll talk about Nigerian footballers doing so well for the country abroad. And of course, we'll take you behind the scenes when it comes to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. We'll also talk about many Africans setting world records and many more interesting stories on the show today. So once again, you're welcome. All right, straight to business. Let's begin with the National Youth Games in Asaba, Delta State, which was declared open officially on Saturday by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was represented by the Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Eno. And of course, at the opening ceremony, the minister assured on federal government's commitment towards developing sports in Nigeria, especially at the grassroots.
The President wishes all the delegates and all the participants for these games a happy games, a peaceful competition, and a healthy one for that matter, a competition that is free of any form of conflict.
Similarly, the Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Eno, has addressed a press conference in Asaba, Delta State, where he touched on so many issues concerning sports development in the country and the National Youth Games. Of course, he talked about the commitment of federal government to ensure the Games continue to produce future athletes for the country, and of course, how they plan to curb age cheat at the Games.
The beauty of these games are also in terms of how many number of states participate. We have 36 states, including Abuja. And if next year's games, you just have half of the states attend or participate, then will not be recorded any success. Therefore, the fact that we have every state on parade is itself going to remain something cardinal in terms of our success measure. Therefore, participation also remains key.
All right, away from the National Youth Games now, let's talk about Nigerian footballers doing so well abroad. And of course, the star of last weekend was Victor Boniface of Bayer Leverkusen, as he got a brace in their game against Heidenheim. And of course, let's quickly show you how the starman got his goals. And after that, we will update you when it comes to league results in Germany, Spain, England. Of course, the North London derby produced, a pulsating 2-2 draw. We'll also talk about all those games in the top 5 leagues in Europe. Do enjoy.
To Boniface, lovely turn, explosive from the striker, got from the spot. Victor Boniface, 3-1 for Leverkusen. Osimhen to give Napoli the lead.
Quite unfortunate that Victor Osimhen missed a penalty for Napoli last weekend, but you know what? It's going to bounce back. It's now time to go deeper when it comes to the world of women's football in Nigeria. If you know the drill, you know that it's time for the MTN Super Falcons show. Take it away.
Congratulations are in order to the Super Falcons of Nigeria, who have qualified to the second round of the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Now, the Super Falcons of Nigeria were billed to play Sao Tome and Principe on Friday, September 22nd, and with the return leg to be played today at the Central African country. But unfortunately, the women of Sao Tome and Principe withdrew from the race, so which means an automatic qualification to the next round. Now, welcome to the MTN Super Falcons show. My name is Osereme Ine Benebo. Now, as you know, this is that show where we bring you all that the Super Falcons have to offer both on and off the pitch. Now, across Europe, Asia and Africa, the Champions League is in motion, and we have our Super Falcons doing phenomenal things for their clubs. Now, today we will be speaking to Paris FC Chiamaka Nnadozie, who has been doing exceptionally well between the sticks for her club. She talks to us about what it's like at club and, of course, her performance at the just concluded FIFA Women's World Cup. All these and more right after this break.
Tell why it's okay, make it relax like it's your by day. Anything you want to do it on, if you do, I'm no need to delay. You don't need to stress yourself, eh? You got that world in your hand. Living like a baby girl for life, make the people know. If you wanna buy your head time, easy access, now one time. Everything break it there, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh yeah. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too.
And that is Michelle Alozie celebrating childhood cancer awareness with her colleagues at the hospital. Now, you know that apart from being a phenomenal football player, Michelle Alozie is also a cancer research technician in Texas. Now, in case you're not already following us across all social media platforms, this is the perfect time to do so. It's at MTN NG on Instagram and Twitter. It's MTN Nigeria on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, our very own pages, The Super Falcons Show. Now, we were talking just before we went on that break about our wonderful goalkeeper, Chiamaka Nnadozie, who did us proud at the just concluded FIFA Women's World Cup. And she's also taken that momentum to club as she's doing exceptionally well for Paris FC. We caught up with her after she caught those two penalties against Arsenal. Now, let's check out this interview with Chiamaka Nnadozie as she talks about her experience at the Women's World Cup and, of course, what she's doing exceptionally well at club level.
Yeah, during our game, I saved down 2 penalties against Arsenal. You know, it was one of the biggest moments in my career, in my life, playing against a big team and doing great things, you know. It's a big thing for me. Yeah. Before the game, I also spoke to myself, you know, like I always do, you know, talking to myself, speaking to myself, you know. I think that the best advice is one of the advice you give to yourself, you know. So, yeah, I just told myself, come on, you know, do your thing. Even when my teammates came to me, they were like, are you ready? I told them, come on, I'm ready, always ready. I was even shouting in the locker room, let's go and enjoy, let's go and enjoy. So, yeah, it was a big moment. Yes, I was able to captain the team on the field during the games. You know, I never thought of that. I never imagined it, you know. It was a crazy moment for me. It started during the friendly game, you know, in Australia, when the captain called me, which is Ono Maybe. She was like, come on, girl, you're going to wear the captain band for the friendly game. I was laughing so hard. You know, I thought she was joking. And I think it made me perform well. You know, it made me perform well because it gave me a bigger role. It gave me, you know, many more things to do. You know, so, you know, when you have the band on your arm, you know, it signifies a lot of things. So I just told myself, come on, right now, you're already a leader by being a goalkeeper because you lead your team, and now it's a double leader. So just do it, girl. And thanks to the captain, or maybe she encouraged me so well. She came to me, you know, she was like, come on, Chi, I believe you, let's do this. Okay. So yeah, talking about my personal performance in the Women's World Cup 2023, Australia and New Zealand. You know, before the competition, I already spoke to myself. I told myself, come on, this is another big stage for you. You know, this is the same competition you showed yourself in during 2019. And this is another time, you know, the whole world will be looking up to you. The whole world will be waiting to hear from you. The whole world will be, you know, looking forward to see the same person or maybe a new person, you know, the same 18 years old Chiamaka they saw during 2019 World Cup. So I told myself, you have to be calm. You have to do your thing. Just take this World Cup as every other competition, you know. So I spoke to myself a lot. And at the end of the day, I was happy that I took the advice I gave to myself and also the advice other people gave to me, you know. If you know me very well, you know how well I love keeping a clean sheet. Right now, the team is preparing for the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Yeah, I think we are ready to go for 10. And the team is mentally ready, physically ready. Everyone is back to their club right now, playing games, doing well, you know. So I think the girls are ready.
With unmatched coverage across Nigeria, MTN Broadband gives you reliable internet service to do whatever you want everywhere. MTN Broadband, data that's got you covered.
Nadozie is a wonder woman in between the sticks, and I wonder what she gets up to off the pitch. Maybe next week we'll take a look at what she does when she's not catching balls. Well, that's the much we can take for today on the MTN Super Falcons show. And we want to say congratulations once again to the Super Falcons of Nigeria for moving over to the next round of the qualifiers. Now, the Super Falcons of Nigeria have never failed to qualify for the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. So we are super positive that they are going to bring the trophy home at the 2024 WAFCON. My name is Osereme Inekbenebo, and remember not to forget that this show airs 9 a.m. every Tuesday on NTA, and you can also catch it on MTN's Ayoba app. From me and all of us at the MTN Super Falcons show, it's bye for now.
You're still watching Sports Reel on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. It's now time to talk about military sports in Africa and, of course, skating in Nigeria, as we have joining us the president of the Organization of Military Sports in Africa, who also doubles as the president of the Skating Federation of Nigeria, no other person than Major General Bade Adeleye. Many thanks for joining us on Sports Reel this Tuesday, Major General.
Thank you for having me, and good morning, the viewers.
Really beautiful to have you on the show. All right, let's get straight to it. Of course, we do know that Abuja, the capital city of Nigeria, will be hosting the next edition, which will be the second edition of the military games in Africa. And of course, we know that preparations are ongoing. You had a press conference not quite long about that. Do tell us, how far so far?
Well, thank you for asking this question. Nigeria is given the hosting right by the Organization of African Military Sports, that is Osimhen, and agreed and signed by all the chief delegates of African member countries. There are stages to host a championship or to host a competition. Nigeria agreed and approved the hosting of this competition, of this championship, by our leader, that is the Chief of Defense Staff of Nigeria. We have the chairman organizing committee, which has been inaugurated last 2 weeks ago, that is Air Vice Marshal Marquis. He is the chairman of the organizing committee. That's the first stage we have taken. Now, all the write-up on how we are going to achieve our aim has started. We are going to have our focus on sponsorship and including this program into our budget, so that it will give us a kind of weight to host this gigantic event. Already, we have about 20 countries that have shown interest to participate in this championship. We are expecting almost about 42 African countries that will participate in these African military games. Nigeria is going to host it, and we are thinking, or we are presuming that next year in November, the games is going to take place here in Abuja, Nigeria. So the preparation is ongoing, and we are hoping things will go on our way, the way it should be. And you know, anything Nigeria is hosting is going to be a good shot out, actually. And we have the backing of our Chief of Defense Staff. We have the backing of our Chief of Army Staff. We have the backing of Chief of Naval Staff and Chief of Air Staff. And at the uppermost, we have the backing of Mr. President and the Minister of Defense. So we are absolutely okay, and we are of our opinion, Nigeria is going to host the African military games in Nigeria. Like you, I'm the president of the organization. I'm speaking for Nigeria, but by implication, I'm speaking for the whole African countries. The African countries are very happy to come to Nigeria and participate for this championship. Thank you very much.
Interesting, very, very interesting. And of course, we're looking forward to the games, and we do hope it becomes a reality and of course a success. Well done. And of course, we cannot wait to host the rest of Africa in Abuja. Now, you also double as the president of the Skating Federation of Nigeria. And of course, we saw a quite interesting, skating event which held in Abuja recently. And of course, we do understand that you're planning for the big one, which is the National Skating Championship, which will, have all the 36 states of the country, including the FCT. Do tell us about that.
Yes, our organization, that is the Skating Federation of Nigeria, is like a new federation. we tried to organize mini-meet championship in Abuja, where we're expecting just few number to participate, but to my surprise, about 700 children and youth, adults participated in that championship. That would drive us to say, let's organize the national championship, which we are expecting 36 and Abuja, 36 states and Abuja to participate in that championship. We are expecting about 2,000 children and youth in that championship with our co-sponsors, our partners, and the organizers to perform wonders between 30th November to 3rd December, as you can see in the screen on how world has started and how the skating sport is very popular in the world and in particular in Nigeria. So we are trying to bring the popularity of the game to Nigeria and to the youth of Nigeria and children.
This is really interesting, Mr. President, and of course we do hope that, so many skaters will turn up, because skating is fast developing as a sport in Nigeria. Many thanks for joining us on Sports Row this Tuesday.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
Really interesting to have you. Thank you. All right, I've been speaking with the president of the Organization of Military Sports in Africa, and of course, it doubles as the president of the Skating Federation of Nigeria, talking about Major General Bade Adeleye. Now, let's talk about some other interesting events, including this one coming from the Ethiopian herself, no other person than Tigst Assefa, who set a new world record of marathon for women by crossing the line in a time of 2 hours, 11 minutes and 53 seconds at the Berlin Marathon on Sunday. And of course, Eliud Kipchoge, also an African, won the men's race for the 5th record time. Let's quickly show you the highlights.
Surely, a couple hundred meters to run. Tigst Assefa takes the world record to Ethiopia, snatches it from the grass. A British coast guard Kenya from 4 years ago in Chicago. A few meters to go, still no smile, still that focus, and the world record is hers. And look at the clock, 2 hours, 11:52, unofficially. History is made. It is writ large. It's spectacular.
That's quite beautiful, putting Africa on the map. I love to see beautiful stuff like that. Now, just before we go, the show will never be complete if we don't give you something to cheer you up. And of course, we're talking about some beautiful sports compilations to enjoy. I do hope you were not rolling on the floor. Quite interesting there. All right, with that, we've come to the end of Sports Reel this Tuesday. As always, I want to thank you for being part of it. And do not forget that you can always get more interesting content on NTA Sports 24, which is on Star Times, StarSat and Free TV. And of course, you can always catch the daily news at 11 in the morning and 6 in the evening, and many other interesting programs. That's the show. Many thanks for being part of it. And of course, the next time I'll be on the show, just like I will always tell you, be yourself and always stay out of trouble. I'm Bade Adeleye, and I will see you next time.